To be honest, for me, when I formulate, I just think, how can I make the best possible product? It wasn't about, oh, how much is this going to cost? I didn't make things to scale for mass production.
Lina Hanson Global Beauty podcast. And then I remember it switched a lot. You went from sampling different things, trying out different things, to then actually being in the lab and creating this.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say, and I'm using this term, a masterpiece. Like, I love the product. It's not even what I'm really referring to about the quality, but our lack of business experience at that time, and having zero idea of scaling, having zero idea about, like, are these products, or are these ingredients, or even, like, can you get them regularly? Can you get the best version of them regularly? I just remember you being in there for months and months and months, and then finally coming out with this thing that we loved. But then I remember going through the ingredient list afterwards and just thinking, like, you literally, it felt like you went out of your way to just get the most expensive ingredients possible. And
well, to be honest, for me, when I formulate, I just think, how can I make the best possible product? It wasn't about, oh, how much is this going to cost? I didn't make things to scale for mass production. And I think that's the thing about our brand too. It's not for mass production, because the ingredients that we're getting, they're expensive. You can only get so much at a time sometimes. And we work with different, farmers and producers in different places, that sometimes, an ingredient might not be available. And that's kind of the problem when you're trying to scale to do a big business. But that was never the goal for Lina Hanson Global Beauty. It was more about creating the best possible product that I could, that would help people and help their skin.
And then we had to price it. We'd never priced anything, but we knew that it was something premium because we knew we had very expensive ingredients, but really not knowing where to price it.
Yeah.
And then I remember, like, years later having the audit that we did, where she went in and went through all our pricing and was like, wow, this is priced way too low.
Yeah.
And
so I feel like we were doing something different. And most importantly, I feel like that most resonated with me, because getting ingredients from different parts of the world and knowing that you're helping local communities, like one of our ingredients, one of our top ingredients is Baobab. And this ingredient comes from Southern Africa, and the people there, it's a regenerative ingredient, it's a sustainable ingredient. It helps the local communities. And to be able to use ingredients like that in your product, I feel like feels really good that you can help communities in that way. I remember I had just created the final product of the Global Face Serum, and we were just kind of testing it out still and using it. And I put these little bottles of oils in my makeup kit before I was doing a makeup for a client. And everyone was like, oh, what is this oil? Oh, this smells so good. Oh, it feels so great on my skin. Like, what is it? And I was like, oh, that's something I'm working on. And I remember maybe a couple months after that, we were in New York, and I remember getting a call from Harper's Bazaar, and they said that they wanted to feature the product, the Global Face Serum, in Harper's Bazaar in their next issue, of Gillian Anderson, who was my client, who was saying that it was her favorite product, right?
And I remember when they called that day, man, I thought we were off to the races, man. I was so excited. I was like, wow, we haven't even launched yet. And already they're hitting us up. I thought, man, like,
this is it, right?
Yeah, this is it. We're about to blow up. We're about to, and we did the right thing, and now we're going to make some money. And
yeah, it was the beginning, but I also remember rushing because we didn't have our website up. We didn't have our packaging ready.
Zero.
We didn't have anything that it takes to kind of
logo,
get a product.
a name.
Yeah, getting a product to market, right? Like, everything that entails,
Yeah.
it was about, okay, now let's figure it out. I remember we called your friend who was a big designer, graphic designer in Australia.
Yeah, shout out to Nathan, man. And I remember he knew exactly what we were after. But at that time, I also would say that, like, I remember some of the notes that we gave him, and it was because we'd never done this before, our need to belong, our need to fit in at that time
Yeah.
was so strong. Like, you're making something, your career was doing really well in the makeup. So whatever you put your name on. And I just remember looking at that first packaging that he did for us, and it was so beautiful. And I was so proud. And I could see your name on it, and it was Global Face Serum. And I believed in the product so much, man. That was like, I think it opened up the door, that idea of like, whoa, you can really do this on your own with your tribe of people.
To this day, it's still our bestseller. It's still our best-selling product. It's still a cult favorite.
Love
And yeah, it's been on the market now for 11 years, I would say. Yeah.
That's
We launched it
crazy.
in 2012. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's so funny because people will contact us on our website. People think that we're a huge team.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've been around for a long time, but you know, we're a small team.
It's weird because I remember for the longest time, we weren't sure how much information to give people.
Hmm.
You know, we didn't want the fact that it was just us to take away from this illusion that it was something bigger, because it was a great product and it was getting all this great press. I remember we were really guarded for a long time about, I don't know, should they see behind,
Hmm.
the curtain? Should we allow them to see actually how much sweat, tears have gone into this thing?
Yeah. And I think it goes back to just trying to fit in, right? Trying to be like all the other makeup and skincare brands out there. How is everyone else doing it? Because we've never done it before. So, and it's just more about being authentic. It's about being who we are and really honing in on that. But I have to say, we've been so extremely fortunate that we've had so many amazing people support us over the years.
Absolutely.
So
I think that's why we got a lot of people involved. They could tell it wasn't like us just making something to make a lot of money. There was something behind it.
that was evident even from the beginning. Like before there was even a product, we knew that global beauty was the ethos, the mission behind what we were doing.